Hi everyone, Emma here. As I promised, I am going to show you how to attach clasps to the last bracelet that we made. So I'm going to do some different type of clasps and eventually we'll get to handmade clasps. And the reason I say that is because if you don't have any clasp, it doesn't mean you can't add a clasp. So we'll do those. There's tons of videos on how to do them. It's basically a peyote stitch. You do a round peyote for the toggle part, and then you do for the part that goes through, you do a strip of peyote and you attach it into a bar. So this is what I have so far. These are the colors. This was the one that I made. I had showed you. I'd already started, and then we worked on the pink one, and then I went ahead and I found some other components to see if I could match stuff up. So I got those. So let's just take a quick look. And you're probably wondering why I have gloves. I am going to let's see if I can move it over here. I am going to put some patina on this clasp. It's a little kind of bright for that clasp, but I think we can add some seashell pearl to that. Yeah, I think that would match. I do have my glaze, and I talk about this glaze all the time. I use this all the time, and you can see I still have. It's actually right at the top here. I think I got this one on Amazon for $10 Canadian, but you can get them other places for maybe a bit cheaper or on sale. Definitely when bead shops have a 50% off everything kind of thing, or 40%. And I think Shipwreck Bead still has some 40% off stuff on sale, so you should take a look. So but yeah, this is great for everything. It's great for sealing your metals if you're not too sure what's in them. So like I had mentioned, I was making some stretch bracelets for a subscriber's granddaughter, and I wanted to add the daisy spacers, but I decided not to. You could essentially coat them with this, and then they should be good to go and not have, the metal is not actually touching their skin. So let's go ahead. We're going to do this clasp first to paint it so that it's nice and dry when we get to that. And I have some, you can see I've added something else there, so we can talk about that too. So I've gone ahead and pre-mixed this with one of these. I get these, they're like lollipop sticks at the dollar store. You get like, I don't know, 100 of them for $1 or $2. And I just use the same one over and over, so I have a bunch of them. And the other thing I use, which is really important, is these things here. So these come in a sheet. I'll show you the big sheet. I don't know if it'll show up on the camera here. These are great to have. So they're square, but they're probably an 8 by 8 inch square, and then each little circle's probably, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch maybe. So these are great. They're perforated, so you can break them up. I break them up, and it came like it was maybe 10 of those sheets for a few dollars on eBay, and that was like 10 years ago. So it could be a lot more now, but I just cut them in cubes like that and use them. And then once I use up all the holes, then I just go ahead and throw it out. So we're gonna put a couple of drops in here. You don't need a lot for your stuff. So if your paint's already well mixed, I think I'm going to add this to the middle because this seems to be curling a bit and I don't want it to drip on this stuff. So we'll start in the middle here. Now what you can do is you can paint it this color. Now I do find that the colors don't, now we definitely don't need that much, but let me cover this first. You can thin this out with your gloss. So and it'll make it transparent like these little seed beads. So let me enlarge this so you can see the. So these are a metallic pink seed bead. So we can recreate that same thing, or we can leave it and it'll be like these super duos, which is a pink pearl color. So let me see what the best way to do. I have a sheet of paper here. See if I can move this over. Grab our clasp and let's move this quite a bit over. And see if I can move my camera over a bit. So let's put that there. Let's go like this. Bring this. I think we need to move this some more. There we go. And we'll enlarge that. Okay. So if, I think what we'll do is we'll mix it first because, and the glaze you don't have to stir or mix. I would just kind of roll it a bit gently. And the reason being you don't want to add any bubbles to it. So I think what I'll do is put a few drops next to the other one and then we'll just dip our brush there like that. And you can get a pair of pliers for this, but I'm not going to worry about it. So let's just dip this in and mix that in. And I'm just going to get my lamp over here to brighten this up a bit. It's going to fall off. Oh, this is part of the reason why I don't do a lot of patina on camera, because it's like messy and stuff. So just put it on. Now that's a lot. And I'm just doing this the other side. But you can see how it kind of starts to just settle in the grooves, which is kind of nice. That's what I want. If you want it so that it doesn't do that, then you would add multiple coats and don't use the gloss. So now I'm just gonna do the other, and this is how messy you can do it. It's not a big deal. It settles. It's like a what do you call that? Self-leveling. Let me just take this, make sure I didn't mess it up on the sides here. And I'm going to put it on the edge. Oh, I wanted to put it on the edge so that the paper didn't suck up the patina. Let me see if I can. This is a problem with gloves, is it's really hard. Oh, and look, that was pointless. There's a hole in my glove. I've been reusing these gloves, so that's why it's doing that. So let me just set it like that. And let's do another. So this is already dry, and you can see I'm adding another coat, and it's actually coating everywhere. So let's see if I can pick that up. And grab it by the hole. Take a little bit more there and add that. And then I'll just put it in here. And that's it. Now you should wash your brush right away. I'm going to wipe it off. It will destroy your paintbrushes. I use it just for, like these are crappy dollar store paintbrushes. And I use the same ones all the time. So let's set that aside. It'll be dry when we're ready to add that one. So now let's move everything back. And I'm going to take my gloves off now. Pretty sure I don't need them, and they're not. Gloves are at a premium these days. I bought a box of gloves about 10 years ago, and I've been using the same box, and then I ran out. And I've used it for renovations and stuff like that too. And now I'm like, would like to have more gloves, and I'm down to like maybe the last 20 pairs. So let me just talk about what I've done here. And everything this, I apologize all the threads, but I went ahead and added threads to every um, bracelet, and I added it on both sides so that we're not wasting time putting knots and threading and stuff. So now we're ready to just add the clasp. So I felt like this one needed something to kind of make it pop. And I have been like, when I'm just goofing around, I'll take and try to do different style bezeling. So I pulled out all my pink ones and I tested. So they all look great, to be fair, but I think this one really said it to me. So this is done with bugles. And I do have a video out there showing you how to make these. And actually, this is a design that from Potomac Beads, and it's for a carrier and Rivoli bracelet. So it has a bunch of these and interspersed with carrier beads. Um, I covered mine with a peyote strip, but theirs are just the really colorful ones that you can use as a bead. So yeah, this is super, super easy to do. So, and I have a bunch others that of pink ones. So there's these using the pearls, and then this is a straight up star pattern. And then this one here, I changed the orientation of the pearls. And this is a bigger one, bigger Rivoli as well. So any of these would work. The other thing I did was I checked my, so this one, this bracelet here, I find is very elegant, very kind of posh, if you want to call it. So I was looking for a really extraordinary clasp, and this is the one that I came up with that I like the best. It's like I think I only have one of these. I think they're like $2 on AliExpress, so they're a little expensive, but they're supposed to be cubic zirconia, which, I mean, does it really matter if it's cubic zirconia? The metal is just regular, fake gold metal. But anyway, there was this clasp, this clasp. I did consider this one. So you can attach one side of the bracelet through these holes, and then this is the opening and closing. This part here opens and closes, so then it attaches on the bracelet on the other side. So you could do that too. And then there's this one here. So when I'm picking, I just grab what I think is going to look good, and then I set it up next to the end of the bracelet. So that would have looked really nice. I feel like it's a little too big for the rest of the bracelet. And let me point out, you know what, when I look at the camera, I can't see it, but so I ran out of these red O beads. They're like a copper on one side, and the other side is red. But I ran out, so I had to use some. I had some that were just copper, and it's, I don't know what the color is, kind of like a light topaz on the other side. So to me, I see this piece here and I see like a brown spot. I don't see red, but you would never notice that unless I pointed it out to you. But so there's that as an option to do the ends in a different color if you run out of your O beads. Which brings me to the subject of O beads. So a lot of people have commented and saying it's great. Now I know what to do with my O beads. What a nice design, blah, blah, blah. But I found that these O beads were expensive. And I understand it probably has to do with how many they make and how difficult they are to make and how much breakage there is and stuff like that, and the colors and how difficult it is. I understand, but this set of red, which was not enough. I just noticed, look, there's one missing here. Oh, that's going to drive me nuts. So these ones that I got from a local bead shop, and I think it was about $3 or $4 for the set. Now, which would have been 5 grams, was not enough to make this design. Like, it's annoying, you know. But anyway, so there's that one. But I feel like this one's way too big. This one's nice. You would have to add some beads or some section on here so that it would come closer. You know, maybe put some, stack some super duos on the inside of those super duos and then some seed beads to attach it this way. Yeah, I don't know. Or you could maybe do it something like that. Have it on top of the other piece. But, so that's those. So I ended up with this one, and I'll tell you why. I feel like the size matches the rest of the bracelet, and you see how it slides in there really nice. It's close to the super duos, so we can attach those. So put that aside. And I just wanted to show you too that I did up this colorway. And just checking to make sure, yeah, they're both turned the right way. So I did try this colorway, and this was the jade ones that were expensive. I think they were like $5 for a set. With this colorway, I feel like this looks too linear, like everything's in its place. So there's a line of silver super duos, and then there's these lines of the jade, and so I feel like these ones are a little more kind of meshed together. Same with these, same with these. These ones that really stand out, and I don't know that I care too much for that. But anyway, so I just thought I'd show you different colorway. And hopefully I remembered to tell you everything. So the other thing that when I was making this design, I had thought, what would happen if rather than take and stack the design of the diamond duo on top of each other, but to do them lengthwise this way using the super duo to connect. And interestingly enough, the O beads don't nestle the way I want them to around the super duo. So I would probably have to put another 11O bead close and tight to the super duo so that it would fit nice and straight. And then this would be super thin anyway, so I don't know, this might be one strand of a multi-strand bracelet. Like, it just didn't play out the way I saw it in my head. So there's that. So that's the kind of stuff that I do. So let's see. I think the pink is dry now. So you can take the glaze and coat this as well, and it'll hold up that. So this is going to be perfect. It's a bit sticky to the touch. And that's fine. Let's put it there for now. So we'll do this one to start with. So like I said, I threaded both sides. And let's get the side that has the needle on it, and then we'll switch. So I positioned my needle coming out of the super duo. And let's just move this up here. So you are going to need maybe an 11O or a 15O. Let's try an 11O. So it's coming out the outside edge, which is okay because we can put some seed beads here. Let me open this up. Some seed beads and come into this area here. I don't know if you can see that. See how it has the bar across? And then what we're going to do, grab a piece of my French wire. And if you haven't heard, I get this from India, and I get this massive, massive strands of this. It's, I think it's either 50 grams or 100 grams of this. And this is what it comes like. So, and it's $12 plus maybe $2 shipping. So it's so much better than what we pay at the bead stores. So I am going to protect my thread when it goes to the inside of here. So let me see. I think I could probably measure it this way. And let's see, I put my nail there. We'll try this one, see if it works. Oh, here, let's just be certain. So I'm looking at where my lines are. And this is going to come through. So it's going to come through at this. From there. There. And you can bend, like just bend it with your nail. So we'll cut 2 pieces of this, one for the other side. And I'll just cut that funky part off that I messed up with my nail. Because now we have lots of this stuff. And they have every color you can imagine of this. And different designs. So they have like a thicker one that has a design in it. It's really cool. There. Okay, so let's put that aside and we'll have those ready. And we'll put some seed beads out. Okay, grab our needle. So we're gonna, let's try 2, and we will go through this hole. Try it first. I think it goes up through here. Yeah, that's gonna be it. So actually, so this is why I did it this way. I want this bead, these 11 O's, to sit flush to the super duo and flush to here. So we need at least one more. So let's take that out. And then we can put it through our wire as well. There. Okay, so we need, let's do 1. And put it through. So I'm going to put it up through this way. Put my wire on. Like that. Okay. And then bring my needle down a bit. Oh, there's more than I needed. Let's see if I can push it. So the wire bends a bit. Oh, it's too long here. Okay, let's cut that. So you can see where it bent it. So we're going to go a little further in, and we're going to cut the other one too, because it'll be the same. Okay. So let's make sure there, we've got 3 here. And we're going to bring our needle through, put our wire guard on. So that's what that is a wire guard, in case you're wondering why I'm doing this. It's just my way of protecting. So I'm just gonna bring my needle through so you can see where my wire guard is. My needle through, pull it all the way through, and then add 3 11 beads for the other side. And remember, we're going to come around the outside of that super duo. We're going to check it if that's where we want it. So I think that's good. So now we're going to go up and through stuff. So you'd see then we have to go back out here. So we're stepping down on the super duo. And we're coming through the beads that are next to the super duo. Let's see. It's hooked on that bead here. Oh, there. So bring it through those and pull it tight. So if you want to, so you can have it that way, if you want, you can come back up and come to this bead, this picot bead here, and actually go around this part, this bar here, and that even secures it even more. So I think that's what we'll do. So we'll see if we can get around here. So if you ended, you had to remember that you've probably got threads and knots in there. So just remember, might be a bit tight. So actually we can go up through the diamond duo. I think there is a knot there, so let me see if I can just kind of go around it. So come out here and we'll come up through the diamond duo. So go through that diamond duo. This is a size 12 needle. This is going to be tight. Let's see if we can get in there. I went through. So I try and keep my knots outside of the holes on this design because I found that it was super difficult to go through. So I'm just going to grab my pliers. There, like that. Go through the 2 holes, or the 2 beads, and then we're going to go through here. Now, you could take a seed bead. Let me see what that looks like. I'm going to try 2 and go through that hole. Just remember you have your wire in there, so you want to avoid that. Oh, that's nice actually. So let's go back. Let me flip it to show you what I've done. So there's a bar right here. If you can see it, it's hard to see right there. So my thread's through there, where I'm going to come back out on the other side. I'm going to add 2 seed beads. 2 11-ohs. And then I am going to go through that top bead that we went through, and we're going to go loop around this. So let me go through just this one here. There, like that. My thread went through, or the needle went through the thread. I just being careful. I don't want it to damage the thread. Before I pull it tight, I'm going to position my needle through those 2 seed beads again. So once I pull it tight, it'll be hard to get in there because they'll be all snug. And then go down. I can pull this tight now. There. Go down those 2. So I'm going in the back of the clasp and down those 2 seed beads. And this part here, like this is sometimes I don't show this kind of work because it kind of changes with every bracelet what feels right to me. So um, yeah, you just do the design that you like. So that's what it's going to look like. That's amazing. It looks, you know, like a continuation of the bracelet. And that's how it should look. Should look like it's part of it. So I do want to go back around that one more time. So let's go in through this 11O and through the O bead and through the super duo, like that. Here's the other thing. You can see now we did do some painting and stuff, but we're already into 30 minutes. It takes a little bit of work to do your now if you want. So I'm coming out of the bottom of this super duo, so I could actually add some seed beads here and it would close this off and you wouldn't see any thread. So why don't we do that? So I think probably 2 will do it, yeah. So add 2 and go through here. There. So that's nice. So actually, I'm going to go back out and I'll tell you why. It's easier to go through the tube, the wire from the outside. Let's go through. Watch you don't poke through your wire and damage it. Now go through these 3 11Os. Through that last one. There, like that. We're going to add 2 11Os. And we're going to find a spot to tie off. So I'm going to go through the bottom hole, through the O bead, through the 11O, and you can see that's where I had my knot, my original knot, but it seems to be going through. So, and let's just get this nice and snug. So that's lovely. So that's the one side. So we'll do the same on the other side. Hopefully it'll go quicker. And let's go through this diamond duo and we will put a knot in here and tie it off. So normally I don't like putting knots in between 11Os, but it's hard to conceal them in some of these holes in the diamond duos. So let's go through. So I put a double knot. You don't need to put a double knot. You can put 2 knots or 1 knot and then do it further down. So that's, you can, let me go up here, see if it'll go through, and then we'll call it a day because that'll be done. So I'm going through the diamond duo. Yeah, I don't think that's going to go through. Oh, it's going through. Not happy about it. And there. So that one's done. Okay, so that's the other needle. I hate, like, I put needles on all of them too, so I'll throw that out. So let's take this off now so we can attach it to the other side. And sometimes these are hard to get started, so let me see if I can. There. So this thing comes off on either side too. I guess it should be on this side. Let me just attach it so that I know which side to put my, like, attach my beading. So let's go and put our needle on this one. So if you got it figured out from the first demonstration, by all means just fast forward. And okay, so this one we're coming through, and it just depends where you've ended your bracelet. So this one we're coming through the bottom hole. Let me see how we did it on the last one. Yeah, I don't think it really matters, but what we'll do is we'll start from the middle hole because we're going to cover that anyway. I just wonder if we put the beads now. Uh-oh. Oh, I was coming out the other way. I was coming out the top of this. So why don't we put 2 beads, so you can see how it changes by what you're doing, so it depends where your needle's coming out of. I could take my thread and go back down and come out this way on the other side, but we'll just go ahead and we'll add our 2 through here. So it's kind of doing it backwards in the sense that we added the 2 at the end. So add our 2, and then let's go around this way. This is not the proper way to do it, but we're going to go around our super duo and we're going to come up those 2 beads and then add. So let's just turn that for a second. I'll do the one and then the other. Okay, like that. Okay, so we are now through the 2 and we're going to add 3. 1, 2, 3, and there's our clasp. So we've added our 3 beads, and we're going to go through this hole. Let's add our wire. Now when you cut it, sometimes it crushes the side, so just be careful because it could drag on your thread and shred your thread a bit. So I'm just going to get this. I think I need to be over 1 like that. And pull that through and pick up 3 and go through here. Now we're going to go actually I'm going to come up through that super duo to go around the others. In there, we're going to add 2 beads, 2 11-ohs, go up through these 2, and turn the corner and go through your wire. Take a look where your needle is. Ah, went through. Yay! Pull that through. Like that. Okay, now go through all these beads. These 11-ohs. And we'll pull everything. It's nice and secure. I'm not going to pull it so tight that it collapses, but just enough that the beads are all in their place. So let's just turn this, make it easier to work on. Go through Super Duo, the O bead and the next 11O. Pull that through. And then go up to the middle 11O. Pick up 2. That's what we did, yeah, 2. Then go through your middle section here. Pick up 2 11Os and go through that middle 11O bead and pull it tight. And if you wanted to, if you were concerned that this was not secure enough, you could go ahead and add another strand of 11Os on either side, or even this open hole here of the Super Duo, you could come through here and add a section of 11Os that way, and it would actually fill this in nicely as well. So there's all kinds of really cool options you can do. Go through my top. I'm cheating. Don't tell anybody. Oh, I have to tell you guys, this is so funny. So it was hilarious that Jen had subscribed to my channel after this many years and never subscribing, so that I could get my 9,000 exactly. And so she never used to watch YouTube. And I was the one that kept saying, we have a smart TV, and I kept saying, why don't you just cast it to the TV, and then you can sit down and watch whatever you want and check stuff out, and check movie reviews and there's all kinds of stuff. And she's huge gearhead, so she's always watching the new electric cars coming out and stuff. So now I'm just going to find a spot to tie this off. So I'll just pull that through there. And I was going to put a knot there, but I'm a little leery of that because it's a bit visually, you can see it there. So I'll just find another spot. So yeah, this morning, so we get up in the morning, I have coffee, she has tea, and we sit in front of the TV. And with everything with COVID, we still watch a lot of news. She is a huge news junkie. So we watch a lot of news, but I'm just like, I'm so over it. Can you put on something else? So she'll start surfing YouTube. And I look, and on her wall is baby squirrel beading. And it was the Jill Wiseman's garage sale. And I said to her, I said, oh crap, I hope you don't start watching my videos, because you'll find out my secrets when I've spent money on beads. I could see her thinking, and she's probably thinking, she is so not interested in beading at all, but is very supportive. She always listens when I'm telling her stuff about my beading. I'm like that little kid that's like, look at mommy, look what I made. So she's been really, really supportive. And sometimes when I say, oh, I'm not going to spend money, she's like, oh, you don't have anything to spend your money on. You might as well and just enjoy it and stuff like this. So she's really supportive. But I could tell she was thinking, so I also have bipolar disorder. And one of the signs of bipolar is that you shop a lot. Okay. I was like, oh gosh, I put it on wrong. And let me see if I can open this. I could see that she was thinking, oh, don't tell me I'm going to have to start watching your videos to monitor your spending to see if you're actually going manic. and I was thinking, oh crap, I can't lie about this anymore because she's gonna totally, she's gonna find out the truth. She's so funny. Well, she was a manager her whole career. Oh, this looks amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, that is awesome. And you know what? It's interesting. The wire is perfect because you don't see the thread. I wasn't doing it for that. I was doing it to protect the thread. That is awesome. So if you didn't want that bar, you can see how you could have gone through the middle only, or taken these strands and gone this way as well. So those strands would be a little narrower together. But so there you go. That's awesome. Okay, so let's get the next one done. So this is this one here. So this is a fold over clasp. Has 3 holes on each side, and these are gorgeous. So you can see how amazing this is going to look like that. And this is what I mean by a fold over clasp. These I got from, I think I got them from Beads. I think BB Craft sells them. I'll have to take a look because these are stunning. They're so beautiful and they're so easy to work on your hand. And because it's a fold over, even though the magnet isn't super strong, it would take a lot for this to come off your hand. Because I've had some uh, magnetic clasps when you take your top off and you still have your bracelet on, it pops off. So that's, if you were taking your coat off outside or, you know, something like that in the winter, you'd lose your bracelet. Nobody wants to lose their bracelets. Sorry, my threads are all tangled. They're all tangled. So these ones here, the 2 first ones, this one here, I can't get over this one. What? This one's crazy. I made for my length. So if you're wondering, let me see. So this is the same size. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 diamond duos to create a 6-inch wrist bracelet and at least 5 grams of the O beads, because this ended up with a few extras from another mother. I'm so crazy. And you know what? Let me see what time it is. It's only 10:30 at night. And I'm already acting silly. You know how you get the silly hour? So let's decide where we're going to fit this. So we have, oh, this is the other thing I should tell you about this. This is, let me see. These holes are on an angle so that your needle can, because otherwise your needle would just hit the edge of this and not go anywhere. But you can see they're lower on an angle so your needle can go through. That's super cool. I wouldn't have thought of that until I'd run into the problem. So this looks like your super duos are not going to be attached to anything. So we're looking at these seed beads. So I actually would use your diamond duo as your holes. I don't usually attach my clasp to seed beads. Just FYI, it's probably not the best. So let's so my needle's coming out of the bottom of this super duo. I'm gonna go through this picot, come back through this super duo, and then go up the and you can see, oh, this thread got hooked on a bead, and I think if I move it, it's gonna be exposed, so I'll just leave it. It happens sometimes. See if I get that through. And through there. And then go through the O bead and the 11-0. See if I can get that around. Looks like there was a knot there. Look how bad this is. Okay. So, coming through the diamond duo. And so we're going to go on the outside hole, I think. So we may not need the middle hole. Now you can put a piece of wire in through there. I'm going to leave it without. I don't know that it needs it. So now let's go through the last hole on the other side here. Let's bring that through and flip it like that. So you can see now where everything's going and lining up. So I'm going to go behind those beads to the hole that's in the diamond duo, and we'll just use our diamond duo to create our loop around our clasp. That. We could put an 11-0 through there. Now I'm going to wait, and what I'm going to do is we'll attach these guys through just to keep them from messing about. So let's go through this diamond duo there, then go through the last hole in the clasp and through the diamond duo. Like that. That's two. I think most beaders do three. Let's go through these 3 beads just so that they're kind of flush with the other beads, and then through the diamond. Let's go through here first. Through the diamond. And go like this. So I'm not going to go through the clasp right yet. That. Okay, so now I'm going to go through these middle 2 beads, and I will go around, and that will kind of snug it up so that, see how the clasp wants to sit this way rather than flush. So hopefully that should take care of that. Go through the last hole here, see what that does for us. And go through the last hole on the other side. And we're going to go through this. And let's go through these beads here. And then we'll find a spot to hide those. So it is a bit tight in this area here. But it shouldn't matter once you have it on. Okay. Let's go through this separately. and through the 11O, the O bead, and the super duo at the bottom. And let's go down one. So let's take a path through the picot, that, and we'll tie it off at the bottom. Two. And okay. Actually, I think I'm gonna go up this way because I don't want a thread over here, which it's probably not gonna matter too much. Okay. One, two. It's all hooked on my bottom beads. Come on. There we go. And pull it through. Oh, oh, it's because it's all bent. It's getting kind of sticky in there too. Okay. And let's go through these beads to hide the tail. So I've been using gray on gold because I ran out of the green. I find the green just totally disappears. The gray has been serving me well, but I'll tell you, when you make mistakes, you can see it. So let me see if I can show you. So there's a strand right there, and there's a knot right here. So I mean, you really have to look at that, but you know, as beaders, we do look at that. So we're like, oh my gosh, I gotta take it apart. So if you're anything like me, I am so anal about that stuff. Like, I have to get it exactly right. And I know some people are like, oh, don't worry about it. It's okay. It looks great and stuff. That's how Jen is. She's like, you're doing great. Just leave it. It's nice. I like it that way. She always says, I like it that way. What, you like it all messed up with threads hanging out everywhere? Oh, poor Jen. So we are coming out of the super duo. We need to come back down and up through the diamond duo. So let's get that through. But yeah, so the only reason I haven't been using the green is because I ran out, and they're still out of stock. So I don't know. I know it's probably the most popular thread, but I don't know what the deal is. What's the dealio? Through the back here. Get through my diamond duo here. And now we're ready for this piece of the clasp. So we'll go through the outside hole like that, and then come back down through the other outside hole. And so this section here, like I did a small for my wrist. You could do it bigger. And you could, if you wanted to finish the bracelet, like the pattern here, you could add some beads along here to extend it. Under that one, go up through the left hand side like that, down through the right hand side, and through the diamond duo like that. Really nice. Perfect. And you could, like, if you left this out a little further from there, you could take and put some seed beads across the super duo to hold it closed and create like another line here. But I would definitely, this clasp is beautiful, so I want to see it. Okay, so let's go through here. And you know what? Let's try it and see what it looks like. So we're going to go through the super duo. Yes. And we're going to step up. I'll just put it across to see, because I put this super close. So I'm wondering. Okay. Let's put a few more beads out. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see what that gives us. 8. Perfect. So go through the next super duo. So you see how it hides it a bit, but it does hold the super duos together. So let's go with it. And I have an idea. I got an idea. Hang in there. So I am coming out of, there should be 5 on this, 3. Yeah. So this is the 5th, or the middle bead here. So what you can do is, what did we put, 8? So we can take the 2 middle ones like that, and then go down that 1 middle bead here. See if that does what I think it's going to do. I was thinking it would pull it down a bit, but what you could do is pull each one down a bit. So let's try going, let's go over 1 bead. So it's basically, I want to say ladder stitch. Some weird kind of ladder stitch. I should make up my own stitches. Nobody would know in all of the beading world. Okay, I need to go over 1 up top here, and then across 1 more here. My thread. There. That's kind of what I wanted. And let's go through here. So it brought it down a little bit, but yeah, it's kind of sketch. I guess what you could do is you could then come back up to your super duos. I won't do it because I want to get to the next one. Come back up to your super duos and create a strand like this underneath, and then that would hold it in the middle, right? So let's just tie this one off. Get my pliers. That's not too bad. Let's put a knot in here and call it a day. Like that. And go through these beads. There. Heard that knot click into place. That's what I wanted. So let's take a look at what this one looks like. Like that. Ta-da! It's really nice. I kind of like it better just straight up like that. That is lovely. Okay, so now we have two lovely clasps. Okay, our pinky. This one should be quicker because of the toggle clasp is very basic. And let's get our pink beads out. So these are the 11-0 galvanized pink blush, they're called, and that's what I used. So let's put some out. Oops. So, as you probably know, there are so many ways to put on a clasp. So I could attach it down at this space here, or I could create a upside down V here to bring these together. So let's try that one. So I just put a bunch on and then on my needle, and then I kind of judge. So I think this is 6. Let's do, there's 8. Yeah, I think I like 8 better. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 at the top, because the 2 at the top we're gonna go through those multiple times, and then it'll go from one end to the other. So 8 and 2, so basically 10. Then go through your clasp. Okay, so now you're going to go through those 2, and basically all that's doing is the 2 is creating a loop for your clasp. So it's functional as well as looks attractive. So now we need 8 on the other side. 6, 7, 8. Okay. So since we're coming out of the outside of the super duo, we're going to do the same on this one. So now for this, we can go up the super duo. We don't have to go through everything. So I think that's what we're going to do. So now go back up through all your beads, including the two. That. Everything's snug here. And then go through your clasp, through that loop. Go through the 2 beads and then go down the 8 on the other side. There, like that. So this is a kind of a cheating way of extending your bracelet. That's quite a bit when you think of it. So if you don't want to extend it, just take it to that, that much up from here. But because your beads or your bracelet's wide, you are going to end up with some kind of extension on this end. If you're worried about that, then reposition your thread so that it comes either from the inside of the super duos. It'll make a little bit of a difference. So let me go back through this super duo and go back up. And I'll show you another way you can do this. So go back up through these guys, up through the 2, and through the hole. There, so it's nice and secure. So we'll go back through the 2 and then down the other side. Let's go down the other side. Well, before we go down the other side, the other technique that I can show you with this is you can zip this up so that it will shorten it as well. And let me see if I have a tiny pink bead to do this. I've done it with others where I've added a darker 15-0 in between them, and it's really pretty. Let me see here. I have a bin that has all my 15-0s in little packets. So there should be some pink in here. Ta-da! Oops. Okay. So we may not be like the ones that I was, the 15-0s that I was doing was or the bead that I was doing had a darker one, but I think you'll still get the effect here. So we need like 3 or 4 and that's it. So let's take those. Okay, so go down the first bead and come out. Pick up a 15-0 and then go down. So match where you are, so you're going to go down the second bead on the other side. Like that. Yeah, these are the same color, it looks like. So we won't see a difference. So pick up another 15-0 and you're going to go down the third one on the other side. So you just keep doing that all the way down, or as far down as you want to create, and just keep pulling it together like that. We'll zip it up and it'll pop that middle bead in between the 2. So let's grab another one. Here. So if you're not sure where you're at without having a count, just take your thread and go across to the next available one. So through here. That. And snug and pull. So you can see there. Pick up another 15. Go down the next one. And pull it tight. And it'll pop the previous one up as well. You might have to coax it out a bit. There we go. Just hold it up with your needle. Grab that one. That. Yeah, we'll do one more. And then that'll be it. So 15-0 and to the next. So I'll just go through all three of those. And we will. I'm just squeezing the two pieces together. And let's pop these up. Up. Just going to pull. And try and pop this one up. And pull. So getting a little snug. There. Okay, go through the super duo. I'm all tangled here. Through here. And so there you have it. It's not exactly what I had intended, but you get the idea. So let's get through here and tie this off. There. And I'll just put my thread, hide my tail here. Yep, call it a day on that one. There. So there's that side. And then we'll do the other side. Get our needle here. And so we are coming out of this bottom super duo. So we're going to go through, let's add some 2 11-0s just to cover our thread. See what that looks like. Yeah, I don't like the way it's like it. There, that's not too bad. Okay, so now let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll do 6 and 2. Grab the clasp. And so actually this toggle part should be longer than this area here, and that's just so that you can actually get the toggle through, because you may have to take some of your beads through with you. So just remember that. So let's extend that a little bit. So we had 8. Let's do 10. We'll do the same as what we did on the other one. So put that through. Go through the first 2. Like that. And then do 8. Let me slide this down all the way. Oh, it looped around my clasp. There. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go through here. Let's add 2. For the super duo, like that. And let's go up here, and we're going to go through all of the beads again. Through the clasp. Back down the 2, and then go through the other side. And through the super duo. And there you have it. Let's go through here. And I'm going to tie this off. And put my tail and my knot through these beads. Okay. Get rid of that. Okay, let's move these over. This looks amazing. Surprise! So it does look really good with the clasp painted. That's cool. So it goes on really easy. That's fine. So there's that clasp. And then we have this one. So you can see the difference in the bracelet size. And then this one. So there you have it. I didn't, let me fix I didn't put this on, but if you're interested, we can do some bezeling of these things to show you. There you go. So there is the lovely bracelets. Thanks for joining me, and happy Thanksgiving to all my Canadian friends out there. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.